Hello everybody, I'm Christopher from ChinaMobileMag, and today I want to show you the new MIUI version 6, which is the latest MIUI version, and Xiaomi actually did a lot of changes to this ROM, mostly in terms of design. The software part remains mostly unchanged for people outside of China, as the all new services are only available within China right now. So MIUI V6 isn't out yet. It still is a developer version, kind of a beta version, but let me tell you, it's working just fine, at least for the Xiaomi Mi4. It's available for the Xiaomi Mi4 and the Mi3 with Snapdragon processor right now. You can download it at the MIUI.com website and flash it onto your phone. You won't get an OTA update right now if you aren't running a developer version of MIUI. So let's get right into the ROM. I fire up the phone now, and here you see the whole new lock screen. The unlock circle is basically gone. You only see your notification bar, a clock. You actually can not pull the notification bar down, and oh, you can, I'm sorry. Jesus, why didn't this work before? Okay, so you can actually do this, but you don't have this unlock circle anymore. So if you want to open the camera, for example, you can swipe to the left, and if you want to unlock the phone to the home screen, you just swipe it up. And you immediately see that the user interface is more flat than before. We don't have the 3D-like icons anymore. They are really flat, and the whole thing is looking a little similar to iOS 7, to be honest with you. And well, let's be honest, it's nothing bad. It's looking amazing. Just look at this new color scheme. It's looking really good, in my opinion at least. But the overall MIUI experience has been left mostly untouched. It's still like previous MIUI versions for most parts. So let me give you a sneak peek into the notification center. This is looking quite similar to the user interface of the Xiaomi Mi Pad on MIUI V5. As you can see, this is still mostly the same, and if we swipe to the quick settings, those are looking a bit different. So the background of this control center and the notification center is actually semi-transparent now, and this is actually really looking good if you have running a video or something in the background and swipe down your notification center. It gets some really nice effect for the background, so I really like that. What I did notice is that the way you are doing multitasking has been changed a little. So previously, when you opened some app, you could see the multitasking list and clean the RAM and so on by long pressing the home button. As you can see, nothing is happening here. I really did wonder why this is like it is. Well, a little bit later I actually discovered that this feature has been moved to the menu button. So if you press the menu button, the multitasking overview will pop up for you, where you can also clean your RAM. This is kind of unusual because the menu button stopped working. You don't have the menu button option anymore. It simply doesn't exist anymore. To open up with an app menu, you need a user interface element for this. So for example, if you're on Google Chrome, you need to press the menu button on the top right and can't open it up with the menu key anymore. So this, in my opinion, is a little downside of this new MIUI version, as I simply don't like looking for the menu button in apps because it's different all the time. It isn't a problem when it comes to iOS. Apple always does a good job in user experience consistency, meaning that the user interfaces of all apps are pretty much the same and you always will use the same gestures and buttons and so on to get where you want. But this isn't really the case for other operating systems like Android and of course MIUI. So removing the menu button actually really is a downside in my opinion. But everything else is still working the same. You can switch by tapping onto the icons and you can close them by swiping them up. Well, other stuff hasn't been changed much. Let's look into settings. This is still pretty much the same with all settings we are used to. It's looking a little bit modern now with its light colors and the colorful icons. But the structure is pretty much the same. And what I also like about the new MIUI 6 is that the top bar, the information bar, always has the color of the application header. So for example, if I switch to music, we will have the same background at the menu bar as from the app, or for example the security app, it will become green. This is looking really nice and I really love that. And this does not only work with Xiaomi apps but with third-party apps as well. So I really love this new design element. What I do notice here with MIUI V6 however is that the RAM usage went up significantly. Look at this, we have 3 GB of RAM here in the Xiaomi Mi4 and we only have 1.3 GB of RAM available. This means that it is almost using up 2 GB of RAM and I really wonder how this is supposed to work out on the Xiaomi Mi 3, which only has 2 GB of RAM. This would mean that the Xiaomi 3 would have 300 megabytes of free RAM available now. Now this is still okay for lightweight apps, but for games this could certainly be an issue. Let's have a quick look at the AnTuTu benchmark just to see the performance, and here I couldn't notice any difference. It still scores the same in AnTuTu 5 as the predecessor MIUI V5. It still gets 44k points here. So in terms of performance there hasn't been changed much, but what you definitely notice is that the user interface itself is more fluent and does not lag as often as MIUI V5 did from time to time. Let's have a quick look at the web browser, and here we see a little change. The tab view has gone on the top and we now see this new user interface, which is pretty neat. I got used to that fairly quickly and I think this browser is pretty good and very easy to use. Still, the only thing I don't really like about that is that you can't open up the desktop view with one tab or open up a private browsing session or something. And of course what I also dislike here is that you again can't use the menu button anymore. You have to look for this menu button here and then it will pop up. So you really have to get used to that. What I also noticed is that we have a new file explorer application here in MIUI V6. Let me just quickly locate it. Where have I placed it? Here we go, here it is, Explorer. And here you see that it is popping up in the folders view by standard. In MIUI V5 we had the categories view by default. It's still available, by tapping here and then going to categories. But this grid view has gone and you now have a list view for this. So this is different, and I guess it's a thing of taste if you like that or not. Else we have a lot of new animations. You have seen that while switching apps, while opening up menus and while closing applications here in the multitasking view. But we also have new apps when changing the volume. For example, you can see that here the bar is animated more smoothly now, and also all the controls, like for example rebooting the phone, are looking totally different. As you can see here, we have again such a semi-transparent milky background with new icons, and if I say reboot, it will get enlarged, and then I tap again, it goes away, we have a little rotating circle, and then the phone will reboot. Regarding the camera app, I have to say that there aren't that much changes, but I definitely noticed some downsides here, and Xiaomi really needs to optimize this one for the new MIUI V6 user experience, because you simply can't access some options anymore here because of the missing menu button. For example, if you are in the video recording mode, you can't choose the resolution anymore for recording video. So let me switch over to this one, open up the settings, and you see we can't change the video resolution to 720p, 1080p or 4K here. And again, if I tap the menu button, I will get into the multitasking view. So that's definitely a downside, and it needs to be improved a lot. I also think that the general user interface of the camera really needs to be improved, because I don't like that you have to do swipes down here to switch between recording modes. That's really not quite useful for me. Regarding the Xiaomi Mi4 issues that I encountered in the review, talking about audio quality during video recordings or phone calls, or the autofocus when doing macro shots with the camera, unfortunately there hasn't been changed anything. When I flashed this MIUI 6 ROM on the Xiaomi Mi 4, I tested it right away, and let me tell you, the audio quality during video recordings is still shitty, still sounds like underwater, still has this high frequency noise. Macro shots are still pretty much impossible. If you come very close, it doesn't focus anymore. Someone told me this is working now, but actually it isn't for me. So the camera still sucks to a certain degree. And also during phone calls, the volume is still very, very low. Slowly but surely, I believe that this is a hardware related issue and not a software related issue. Either the microphones in there aren't anything good, or there is some hardware design mistake at the PCB which is preventing the audio signal from being powerful enough. So all in all, doing phone calls is still something that gives you a very hard time, and doing video recordings of course as well. So at this time not much has been improved. MIUI V6 is a great ROM in my opinion, still has some flaws. Xiaomi still needs to optimize some parts of that. I would really like to see how this is running on a Xiaomi Mi 3, so if you have one, try to flash it and tell me how it is working for you in the comments. I'm really looking forward to see that because of the RAM consumption. Okay, so that's it for now. I won't go any deeper into the operating system, this would probably get too long. Thanks for watching this video and have fun with MIUI V6.